Oh, yeah, that's good.
Sounds good. Buttery.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. Topsnap podcast. We're here with my man, Chad.
One of these. You know how that always goes.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
This is what I called it the last time I said. It's like a cock and a pussy.
Yeah.
Because when I go to do this, somebody always does this, and then you go backwards. Yeah, it's a fucking clusterfuck.
Let's try this one more time. Boom. There we go. Started off right.
Is it Towersey?
It's actually Towersey.
Towersey.
Yeah, and I don't even know what proper pronunciation of the last name really is, but I like to just make it easy, like Towersey.
Towersey.
Like a Z, but it's really not. It's S-E-Y. So Tower with a S-E-Y on the end.
Towersey.
Yeah. You know, the older brother of punker Pat Towersey. So he, you know,
that's your brother?
Yeah, he's kind of Insta famous. And
really?
He's an amazing surfer, waterman from Newport Beach. And,
okay.
And my brother, he's a town hero, really. I mean, he's a champion of champions.
That's rad.
Yeah, I mean, he's badass. I mean, he does things like he's paddled.
I'm just gonna push this forward so you.
A little closer there.
Yeah, you don't have to be. I'm not gonna. I tend to. That's my fucking problem here. I
get in and out on it. I can,
Yeah. You're good.
Do a little this, a little that.
You're good. Let's see here. I got all my fucking. I'm the producer here. That's the problem. A lot of these guys with podcasts, they have somebody they yell at. And does all the fucking.
You're like the one man team here. You know, you wear all the hats.
I hate it.
Speaking of hats, I was actually like when you told me let's do this, and it was like kind of spur of the moment. So I'm just like, shit, yes, I'm getting all psyched up, and I got to jump in the shower, and I'm running around, and I'm grab my hat, and I grabbed one of these, like I picked up a Vision streetwear hat the other day.
Old school?
Yeah, totally. It was radical, and I saw that, and I just grabbed, I had to have it, and but as I'm leaving, I'm jumping on my bike, and I see this hat sitting outside in my little spot out there in the backyard, and it's Town Park. Yeah. So Brett Lawrence. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wear his hat, because I mean we know this isn't going to be broadcasted to millions of people right now. The possibility is, yes, that could happen.
Down line, maybe, yeah.
It totally could happen. But we're now. But there will be someone that sees it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show my buddy some love.
Yes.
He sponsored me a keg, actually, and his beer is awesome.
Town Park Brewco.
Town Park Brewco, and it's the guy's name's Brett Lawrence. His family owns this amazing ranch called Rancho Lomar, or something like that. It's out in like Santa Margarita area, and they do it's a nonprofit. They do weddings, they do functions. The Dalai Lama was there last summer.
Really?
And he's got white tigers on the land.
Brett does?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
So it's kind of like one of those amazing places there.
He's got freaking tigers. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's amazing.
And he's taken this thing on from the family business, and he's done a great job with it. And it's kind of it's a cool story what he's been able to do. Yeah. And since he's got all this land, my buddy Gib Reese that I went to high school with both these guys, and Gib has always been doing his thing in his garage and mixing these potions together and coming up with all these beers.
Potions, right? Okay, so he's not fucking is he blowing up the garage, or is he?
No, he's not a mad scientist back there, but that's kind of what these guys are doing.
Yeah, the brewmasters.
Yeah, I got another buddy, Dodie Clifford, and he's been doing it for a long time, and they're producing these ales that really can go toe to toe with any of these beverage beer companies that are out there.
For sure.
They're making really good quality beer.
Now, are they selling it kind of like a private label thing, or are they producing their own brand and selling it to other restaurants and stuff like that? Or?
With what Brett did, since he has the property out there, he just kind of teamed up with his buddy, and they put it all into motion, and they started out with kegs. And Brett, also did the sales stuff on it, so he's opening accounts. I think he's got some of the bigger name venues around Newport Beach already on lock. I mean, I think the Bear Flag carries it.
That's what I was going to ask you.
And their sister company, which is Wild Taco, that's down there behind Rudy's. So Toss Carson, he's the person who created Bear Flag.
Okay.
The first location was behind Rudy's there, and he crushed it. The problem was there wasn't enough space, and he made a deal across the way next to the old Lido Theater. He got this new location, and he shifted the business over there, but he'd already blown up that location there. So what did he do? Any smart businessman would do, he started up Wild Taco, and he knew that he could make that more of a place where he could hang out.
Yeah, he wanted to make it a place for him to kick in.
Yeah, and it's got that whole local vibe. You should check it out. I mean, it's a dope
And you
spot.
should check it out too, motherfuckers.
Check it out. So Town Park. I did my little
He's doing
plug there.
Shameless plugs.
Totally. And that's how the world goes around, right?
Dude, it totally does, man. I do that all the time with I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Any place, I've never been to town. I haven't ever tasted a Town Park, so we're just going to go off of what Chad says, and I trust what Chad says. So, toe and surfer motorcycle maniac over here. So anything, I've said it before, like if there's something I believe in, it's not about I'm getting paid for it or anything. It's just something I believe in, something I'll purchase.
Yeah.
Something that, that tastes good, feels good, rides good, whatever it is, So how the hell are you? Since the last time I saw you when we went out to Malibu.
Yeah, we rode up to, we went through the rock store.
Yeah.
And then we did the windy turns up to the top, and we kind of nested out up there. But there was a cop at the top of the hill the last time we were there. He was just picking people off.
Yeah.
What sketched me out was Eric,
Chopper.
I mean,
we call him Chopper.
This guy,
Mr. Chops.
I'm not going to joke. This guy rides, he's a good rider.
Yeah.
Like, he's riding this, he's got two bikes that I've ever seen him ride. He has the badass Harley. I don't know what model it is. You probably, you know that stuff. Heritage Softail? Fuck, dude. But I know what it is. It's a bigger bike.
Yeah, it's a bigger bike. It's got airbags. It's got the big, like, ape hanger, mid-apes or something like that. And then he's got a KZ1000.
Yeah, now this is the thing I want to talk about. This guy, okay, and Eric's not a small dude. I mean, he's a bigger dude, and this guy,
like, he's about our height, but he's got calves the size of fucking tree trunks, put it that way.
Yeah,
he's a husky motherfucker.
You see him when he's coming, and the thing is, you not only see him when he's coming, but you see this fucking bike because it looks exactly like a cop's bike.
It is a cop's bike.
Is it?
It's a police KZ1000 Kawasaki.
So now you understand what I'm saying. I mean, this thing is. It scares me when it's behind me, like, just for a second when you catch it in your rear view. You know what I mean?
That's so funny. We're going to get to something with this later after you finish this, because this plays on to...
But so, we're up there doing our thing, and as we're going up the hill past the rock store, we're getting the head tap, so we know that we got a phone call.
No, we're good. We're good. I just silenced that shit. I am going to push this a little towards...
Sorry, I'll keep nestling back up to it.
It's all good. There we go.
Yeah, so we're going up and people are tapping their helmets, so they're signaling us that obviously there is that's the signal for like a policeman or a crash possible. What is that?
Yeah. If you see guys on motorcycles and they're doing this shit, that means there's a cop. You're passing people like this, and if somebody's passing you and they see you and they do this, that means there's a cop ahead of you.
They're trying to save your ass, basically.
Yeah,
they're being bros, and that's what we do.
Sometimes I see guys that even in the cars do that shit. They'll tap on their fucking hood or their roof, and that's pretty cool.
But
too.
if it was an accident, they would be doing the same thing, right? Technically, or was there a different enhancing?
I would I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know the etiquette for that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's someone down, it's still a head tap.
Yeah,
right?
head tap. There you go.
So it's caution warning, but typically what we're doing is they're hooking us up from getting a ticket, which I have gotten up in that area, which sucks.
Oh, really? That sucks.
But so they're giving us a signal. Eric's the leader in the pack of four of us. It was me, you, Drew, and Eric. Eric's leading. I think Drew's second, you're third, and
somewhere around there,
whatever. But so Eric's tearing this thing up, and he's flying up the mountain as he does, and he's sick. He rides his bike like a champion, and it's not like a high performance vehicle by any means,
not by any stretch of the imagination.
He totally rips it up out there, and I'm watching this guy fly around the last turn, and I'm going, what's this? This guy's like ballsy, dude, and he just flies right by the cop.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even really hold back on the whole last.
Oh, so the end of the snake, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And I think maybe he saw him once he got to the very end and hooked and going left. He must have seen. He's sitting right there.
That's when I had Drew go. When I went back down and Drew went back down and filmed me going to around the corner. I wasn't going fast at all, but yeah, that's okay. I remember. Fucking A.
But when we pulled back down there to take the pictures, that's where I was even scared because the police officer's there. I think he was riding someone else up at the time.
He looked like it.
That was probably why Eric kind of got away with it. Like he was riding another person up. But we went down to take a couple shots. So the guys went back down and they rode back up to get some pictures around the turn because that's cool, whatever. You got your shot. But you don't have to pay the guy who's at the corner there who's charging you that uploads them. But it's a cool little business that guy's carved out for himself.
Fucking A. There's a couple of those guys.
Who doesn't want to buy their photo? You know? I mean,
it's expensive, some of them, man. Like if you get it blown up big, you're talking like a couple $100. You can view them free online, but they have his sponsor, which is like a law office, like a motorcycle law office that kind of has a what do they call that? Like an emboss, kind of like a print. It's like a 30% opacity, so you see your picture pretty good, but then there's like this law offices of so and so
cropped over the thing of it, so you can't. You got to pay to play, and dude, you should be paying for it. I mean, I think they're probably $10 to $20 or something like that per photo. For
like a regular definition, and that's just for the file though. If you get actual photo, the photo's $80.
Oh, he'll print it out.
Yeah, and then if you want like a big one, he can get it all printed out to like 70 inches or something. But it's like 300 and something odd bucks.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing. And fucking Eric, man, like you said, he's kind of a nutcase. It puts me on my toes. I gotta keep on the revs.
Yeah, I mean, I was stoked because I got, not only was I coming to do the show, but I got to jump on my bike. And I will say, I'm so glad that I got my motorcycle.
What is it? What do you have?
It's a black Triumph Scrambler. It's a 2013. And Jason, I'm not a wrench guy, dude. I honestly, like, I know what a hammer is and I know what a wrench is, but I'm not a guy that's going to be getting down and dirty on my bike. I'm just like, I'm gonna take it to the shop guy and like, whatever. I don't know if that's frowned upon, so be it. You know what I mean? But like, whatever the case may be, I ride the shit out of my bike. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy getting to drive to work in the morning. Like, how many people can really say that they're stoked on their drive to work? And I don't care if there's traffic, man. It's all good.
Yeah, same with me, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love being on the bike. It's so freeing. And, I think, there's so much in life that we're on such this path, this journey that's just kind of, that there is an end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know that there's going to be an end at some point in time. And riding a motorcycle, it is dangerous, and I will say I'm not like, I'm riding, you know, and it's not, it's a dangerous deal, but you got to be mindful of all that stuff. But this path that we're on, my point being is that there's only so much time, but I love trying to take as much as I can from it, you know what I mean? And giving back in my own way, but not taking, but participating in life. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. I just came from a memorial service for Lalava's father, stepdad. Mm-hmm. And they had like the film, like pictures of somebody, of all of his pictures throughout life.
Yeah.
And he had a pretty fucking cool life, and traveler, and he liked to race cars, and older guy. He died of cancer, and it was one of those things where you reflect. I started getting kind of choked up because I didn't even know the guy. Mm-hmm. And he had tons of family and friends around there, and everybody's celebrating his life. And And it kind of meant something at that point. Like, fuck, we all do have an end of our story. And the legacy can go on through others that we leave an imprint or a mark on. But at one point, this guy's story, there's no more involvement. There's no more pictures being taken. There's no more video being broadcasted. There's no more songs to be sung. And I think you have to embrace that. And that's what you do when you surf, when you ride your motorcycle, when you do your other activities. I have no idea as far as how far this goes with you.
Yeah, it's basically my life has been kind of one of those that's such as a jack of all trades. And my dad would always say, he'd always say that saying to me, a jack of all trades and a master of none. You know what I mean? But I like to, I look at it as my own way. It's like, I feel like I'm a jack of all trades, and, I'm a master of some. You know what I mean?
Master of a few. That's my gig.
You know what I mean? And it's not like, anything to gloat about or anything or this, but like, I don't necessarily think I'm ever going to be a master of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? But I can be, if I'm hitting the mat and I'm participating and I'm training hard, which I love to do. I think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu it's fantastic.
So rather you're into it, bro, you have no clue.
It's fantastic. I mean, it's another one of those things that, like, yeah, I'm not a master, but like I'm a blue belt, and I go in there and I get to train with all these guys that are all, shooting for their own little whatever they're out there doing. Some are wanting to be the next best thing. Some want to, just train to have fun. Some are doing tournaments. But each one of those guys out there, including myself, we're doing something outside of just being on the mat with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're doing the sport, you can't help but think about it like an addiction almost.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
You can get addicted to it for sure.
It's and you can and then when you go in there and train, each guy's at their own different level, and like the growth that you can see personally with jiu-jitsu is fantastic.
That's where I used to be. I had the bug for a long time, and I kind of lost the bug a little bit. I mean, it happens. I still watch film, and I'm into MMA, and I still watch a lot of jiu-jitsu shit. But I trained a little bit a couple weeks ago, but I need to get that regularity, if you will, that constant train, even if it's consistently 2 times a week after week after week, not 2 times this week and then off for 3 weeks. Then I don't get the consistency, and
it's tough.
I feel so much better when I do it.
It's just like anything, and that's for anyone who's out there. It's just like, when you get back to doing something that you were doing that you're not doing anymore, that was something that helped create a routine in your life, whether it's, going to the gym or, swimming laps or going to yoga, whatever, floats your boat, you know what I mean? But like, it's something that is, it's something that I feel that we all need to be doing something. It's almost mandatory.
It is.
Because it helps release stress. I think it keeps you healthy, which in turn you want to live this life and be on this journey hopefully most people for as long as we can. Yeah. It's just our human instinct is to naturally survive.
I used to surf a lot.
Yeah.
And I haven't surfed in a long time. And in fact, for a while, I haven't even gotten in the water. Well, lately I've been jumping in my pool. And today I started doing some breathing exercises, trying to shortly, consistently kind of like increasing my breath time underneath. And then I plugged in the vacuum hose thing that the little vacuum thing vacuums the bottom of the pool. And I took the end off underneath, and I would go down and I would start vacuuming with my hand.
Nice.
And using the control of my hands to stay at the bottom and to concentrate on where I needed to vacuum and holding the breath. And man, it was fucking tired. I did that for almost an hour.
Yeah.
Kept going, and then come back up.
It's a good workout.
Hold my breath real fast, and then go back down again, and consistently doing that. And try to keep myself on the bottom with a full lung of breath, and work and keep my composure without panicking. And I could see over that short period of time I was getting a little bit of increase, but man, it felt good to do that.
Heck yeah.
Just even that little exercise right there, going to the bottom of the pool.
I watched this thing on Surfline the other day, and it was like the header of the story was something about Kelly Slater and his ability to hold breath with this Wim Hof method.
Oh, Wim Hof is amazing.
Is that the guy's name?
Wim Hof. Yes, you said it perfectly.
And I couldn't help but clicking. I knew I didn't click on the story right away. I knew it was going to be something that I wanted to take in, because Slater alone is just a freakish human being with abilities that are. He's a master of some. Yes. He's a master of some. Guaranteed. I will tell you that. And, whether he golfs, okay?
Plays guitar.
He plays guitar. There's many identities that Slater has, that he is a top-notch competitor he plays ping pong. I know he's good at that.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are, and I've had the pleasure to play golf with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I didn't click right away on the story, because I knew I wanted to dedicate a little time just to take it in. And sure enough, when I did find, the 15, 20, 30, it actually was probably more 40 minutes that I spent on this, because, there was a whole documentary that Vice did on Wim.
Oh, okay.
And they go and take his test to see if they can walk up this mountain with no clothes on, essentially.
You know what he did with the world record, right?
He do like the Everest with no shoes, I don't think.
No, he had climbing shoes on, but no shirt and in shorts.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Dude, these guys they suit up in full-on thick parka shit and wear masks and stuff. These motherfuckers climbing it with no shirt and shorts on and just these climbing boots.
Yeah.
Crazy mother. And he got a world record for it, a Guinness Book of World Record.
He holds these seminars, if you will, at his location, which is, I can't remember exactly where it is, but he holds these gatherings, and people come, and I'm sure they pay a good amount of money to participate in one of these.
It's in Denmark or something like that, Amsterdam, something like that, right?
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So and it's somewhere. But he has a little business there right on the river.
Okay.
And that's where they started out their exercise, and he got them all jumped in there.
The cold water, right?
Yeah, in the cold water there. So, but they saw a little growth. They applied that method.
The Vice did.
Yeah, the Vice.
Okay.
They applied his breathing techniques in the very beginning when they jumped in the water, and they saw how it worked. So he caught him right there, and he hooked him in, and he took him up to this location. And there's a whole group of these people that have showed up, probably about 20 other people, to participate in this. And it's a full-blown, I think it's like a week long deal where they all gather around, and they're doing these breathing techniques that send them into this state of mind that's almost, you hyperventilate yourself enough, and you breathe hard enough, you're going to get lightheaded.
Yeah, he says it changes your blood chemistry.
Yeah. And they all participated, and they all did these things where they jumped in the water, and it was freezing cold, and all this great stuff, and it was cool. But what I learned from the documentary, and Vice ended up walking up the hill, and they had to have, the gal who was like the cameraman person, she had to do the whole deal too. So
yeah, everyone was participating. I gotta watch this.
They both made it. It's killer. But what I did learn is like these tragedies that this guy had gone to lead him to finding this method was based on his wife had all these struggles, and they kept putting her on medications and in loony bins and all this type of stuff, and he loved her so much. Like true, just this guy loved his wife, and he was able. She committed suicide.
Oh fuck!
I believe that's how it ended for her. But through his grieving, he found this breathing technique. And he started smashing all these records of swimming underneath the ice and all the. He got
60 meters, I think he went.
Yeah.
Underneath sheets of ice, they drill a hole down here, and then he goes underneath, and he swims under. I mean, like, there's no fucking escape. There's no like, oh, well, time out. I got to get a breath of air. You're locked in.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, I heard that part. I didn't know his wife passed away.
Yeah, and he already had these children. I think there were three children, and he was now taking care of everyone and doing all this stuff. And he ended up, and I think he was probably in his late 30s already when he found this. I mean, he wasn't just a spring chicken that just was doing this
because he's in his 50s, right?
Yeah, or he might even be in his 60s right now.
He's a little older of a gentleman.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there, and he's still doing all this crazy stuff, but
he's pretty fit.
He went and did a study with the scientists to prove that his method is actually doing something scientifically to the body that can be explained. And he went with, and he not only said that I'm going to do it, I'm going to bring 2 of my students, or a couple of his, maybe 3 or 4, whatever, of his students, his top students, to do this same test.
Yeah, so that he knew that it was replicatable. Yes. That's what he was saying. It's not, I'm not just the one-off, because there's always going to be that percent that can do something that it can't be replicated elsewhere. But he said, no, this can be replicated with anyone. Anybody can learn to do this. He's doing it with the fighter Alistair Overeem. And what's funny is Alistair Overeem's MMA, he's an MMA fighter. His fight record has improved since he started training with Wim through breathing exercises and cold water, and not only because of the physiologically, but mentally now, Alistair's actually more fucking strong in his head when he goes in to fight these beasts.
Confidence has gone up too.
I think he's going to be the next world champion, actually.
That's great.
I'm calling it because of Wim and his hard training, but the bottom line is, just if Wim is involved with this guy's life, that's where they also said there's just a spirit and a power that this guy has when he's around you that's just infectious, that just it makes you want to be a better human being. You know, those people that are out there. Yes.
But to finish the story, they took them, they injected them all with a flu.
Okay, flu virus?
Yeah, a flu virus.
Okay.
And I mean, this is like a wicked flu virus, you know? And they were able to fend off that from affecting each one of them.
Really?
And it shows there's something to do with the heart rate that accelerates at a certain time. That's when you cross into having fever or whatever like that. They were able to control it to not go past that point.
Really?
Yeah. So the guy's cool. So if anyone hears this, just look him up.
And he's a part of Kelly Slater's like training regimen now, or something.
I guess he's applying his breathing techniques. And I saw it go, like, when all this started happening, and I started looking into it, I started seeing it virally. You know, I'm like starting to pick up. Oh, that post that guy made with what they're doing that's you know, they're practicing. Like, so I guess like Luke Davis, he's another professional surfer. He rides for Ruka. Just recently got picked up by them, so that's awesome for him. He's kind of an interesting free surfer, if you will. He's not one that participates in like the comps regularly. Like, he will probably throw a jersey on and throw it down, but you know, he's a free surfer. But I saw one of his Instagram posts, and he was all showing some dudes. We have to hold our breath as surfers.
Fucking A, dude, you die.
You know, that's what happens. And I love surfing. You know what I mean? It's another sport that I deeply love, you know, and it's you know, surfing, jiu-jitsu, you know, like there's some good, you know, juju between the two sports.
There's a lot of connection.
Like you know,
and life even with those things.
Yeah, you know,
you get in a predicament. You get into a hard spot in your life. How do you deal with that? It's the same way as if you get in a hard spot with jiu-jitsu, or you get in a hard spot with surfing. Versus other sports out there that are like, okay, if you miss a ball in basketball, and it's not that big of a deal, or tennis or golf. I mean, they can be frustrating, and that competition issue is there, but it's not really a life. It could be not such a life-threatening issue, you know. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, you know, technically you're in that spot where you can get tapped, where you know you're choked out, or you get a submission, submitted, break an ankle or something. I mean, hopefully you're rolling people and keeping it playful, like the Gracies say. But you know, you get those opportunities where you could technically would have died. And surfing, shit. I mean, you're talking about Mother Nature. You're riding Mother Nature's force, and if you fuck up, it can be detrimental to your life or to your health.
The things that these guys are doing nowadays in big waves. Oh, Jason, like no one.
I know, dude. It's so mind blowing.
I know you surf, so you know what the ocean's like, but I don't know. Probably 98% of the population has. It's probably some high percentage of people that have never
surfed,
and it's probably like 85% of the people have probably never even gotten in the ocean, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something crazy probably, but at any case,
at least not into waves that can threaten them.
Yeah, to see what these guys are doing nowadays, it's hard to but I don't understand it. I don't get how it's possible. The survival rate. It's just a scary situation out there.
100%.
And these guys, there's a lot of young guys out there that are out there proving themselves these days.
Shredding.
And they're fearless. And it's because I know growing up surfing, you know, my brother and I, we were sponsored by Volcom back in the day. We were little grommets that came up, you know, here in Newport Beach, and you know, we have some sizable waves here at the wedge and whatnot, and you know, even up through the jetties, there's days where, you know, it can get, you know,
heavy,
a couple feet overhead, maybe double overhead at the heaviest, and you know, and there's some scary situations that can happen out there, but it's nice that you have the sand bottom underneath you. It's not super deep. So, you know, if you get in a bad spot, you're already down on the bottom. So, you know, you could probably push up.
There's lifeguards everywhere.
Yeah, you know, bad stuff can happen. Obviously,
yes.
with sand being shallow, you can break your neck easier. So there's give and takes. But my bottom line is, like, the hairiest of situations that you can be in out here don't even scratch the surface. And I find myself gaping for air, even wiping out here at times. You know, I take my breath wrong when I pull into the barrel, or, you know, I just get worked, you know, and I'm scratching to the surface to get up. So I can't even start to even begin to imagine how life-threatening, you know, it must feel for some of these guys. Even at the top of their game, they're still in critical situations.
Like if they're out in Jaws, where it's deep as fuck out there, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it so deep, and then there's a shelf that creates that wave? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no like fucking I'm gonna go to the bottom and push back up.
No. And none of these big wave spots are like that. You know, I would say Pipeline would be, you know, and you know, some of these slabby reef, Chopu, Pipeline, you know, Tabby starts getting a little deep out at Cloud Break even, but you know, the majority of those spots, it's not going to feel good, and you're not going to be loving life if you get pinned down on that reef to start. But you do have some opportunities, just depending on how heavy it's getting. But I think one of the introductions of this life vest that Shane Dorian came up with Billabong, that's helped push the envelope to a new bar has been set in big wave surfing due to that inflatable vest.
Yeah, so it's almost like pulling like almost like when you're on an aircraft. It's similar. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar to this the theory of, like, if you get it put into a predicament and you're getting held down, you pop these tabs, bam, and it inflates.
Yeah, there's cartridges. So nitrogen cartridges. Yeah, CO2 or whatever it is.
And it blows it up, and then you just shoot to the top.
Yeah.
And it keeps you buoyant. And whereas if, you know, you have a leash that's holding you down, you have a wetsuit on kind of restricts your mobility a little bit sometimes, or just the sheer nature of you being exhausted and being under stress and being again, if you're paddling, and then you're getting held down and you don't have much breath, it's hard to really conjure up the energy to get up, to swim 20, 30, 40 feet up where you might be down that far.
Yeah, and there's something called tombstoning that happens, and that's when you're so pinned down there and there's so much pressure of that wave holding you down, and your board will be seen, you know, pretty much halfway out or a little bit more, just tombstoning like this, and up in the, you know, when you're down there like that, what you're looking at behind you is that next wave that's possibly breaking. Yeah. So a 2-wave hold down is something that no surfer ever wants. Okay. But you got to remember, if you come up for air after being just viciously beaten down there, you know, and they're taking the beating and they're waiting, going, okay, this has been long enough to where I'm feeling, you know, comfortable anymore, and then they're ripping that thing. So then they're surfacing, right? But when you surface, that next wave we're talking a 30 to 60 foot wave for these big wave surfers that's breaking in front of them, and now you've got that thing inflated.
Yeah.
So now you're up, and from what I've been told, it's just like you're not going back down. You can't really swim down deep, but you attempt, I guess, and it keeps you in the white water. And I mean, that must just be the freaking craziest ride you've ever been on.
This building's 22 feet high. So you imagine 3 of these buildings. I get on the roof of this building, and I'm scared of heights, and I get on the building and I look down, I go, fuck, this is up there. 3 times that in a way. Oh fuck, I can't even imagine, man. I panic zone. I would freak out. That's kiss it all goodbye at that point.
So again, there's this whole element with surfing, and it doesn't matter how big it is. You can take a wipeout here that can be freaking gnarly too. You know what I mean? And there's that thing now, it crosses over to jiu-jitsu of really staying calm. Staying calm is the most important factor in both sports when you get put in a compromising situation, and it's going to happen. You have to accept that going out into the water when the waves are somewhat heavy, that there's going to be consequences, and you got to be prepared. And out here on the mats, I'm training at Art of Jiu Jitsu, which is here on 17th Street with the Mendez Brothers.
AOJ for you.
AOJ.
Newport Beach.
This academy is unlike anything I've seen. It's a very well-oiled machine, and they are very professional. They are very open-hearted. They carry themselves with dignity and prestige, and that's really what that place, it just shines. Mm-hmm. It really is an amazing facility that they have developed over there. And I've seen it grow from the very starts, because I was one of those people. I got my blue belt from Lucas Leitch out in La Habra. Lucas is a fantastic dude, and Chris Franco, who started that academy out there, like, that was really the only jiu-jitsu I had at the time. And I was driving from Newport to Fullerton, to La Habra, to train with these guys, because I learned jiu-jitsu over in Maui. I lived over in Maui for a short time when I was about 24, 25 years old. I went over there to start up this company with a gentleman who owns KPOA, who they own all the radio stations over there. Okay. They installed all the antennas on the majority of those islands.
Oh, wow.
So they were starting up an online hub, and they needed a guy that was kind of a production guy that does video and this and that kind of get things done. And he was my dad's buddy, and it just was a perfect fit at the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, what a fantastic opportunity. Go over to Maui to start up some like fun venture for this guy, and he's putting me up at the spot, and I surf.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, this is freaking great. I shipped my car over there. I moved to Maui.
Yeah.
I'm living Lahaina, dude. I'm there in Lahaina, and I'm loving it. And I got buddies over there, and I tie in with a bunch of really, really top-notch surfers. I got the pleasure to surf with guys like Clay Marzo, Granger Larson, Dusty Payne. The list goes on, and there's just so much cool local vibe over there of just like this guy Benny and Peter Labrador. Everyone was there's aloha. There really is. You know what I mean?
I talk about that on this podcast a lot. Aloha spirit. It's just that vibe. It's a way of living. It's a way of treating people with respect and dignity, and getting that respect and dignity back for how you treat others.
Yeah, and I think
the environment and all that.
And I think you see that with a lot of cultures. If you travel, like as a surfer, we're very blessed. I mean, if you really do it, I mean, there's a lot of people that just they're content with just surfing out back, and maybe they get on a surf trip here and there, and like, but dude, there's a real chase in surfing. If you're a core diehard surfer, you're willing to drive. Dude, you're willing to drive 24 hours in hopes that you might catch the right tide with the right wind and the right swell direction to surf a wave that could potentially get you a spit out of a barrel. Like that idea of being able to go and do that is what I live for.
To chase that feeling?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The chase is unreal.
And that feeling I'm not a hardcore surfer by any means, but I have felt that. And it is unreal. It's surreal. It's something that if you've not felt it, there's no other feeling like it. There really isn't, because there's this connection. I can't explain it. Only a surfer knows. That's a phrase, and I hate to be cliche, but it really is. It's once you tap into this energy force and you're riding this energy force, and you feel you're with one with it, your movements with the movements of this medium that's carrying this energy through, and you connect to it, and like you said, get spit out of a barrel, and you're just pumping down the line, and it's almost effortless, and everything just comes together. It's fucking crazy, because you pull off, and that's why you see guys, they get that, and they get addicted. They're like, oh shit. Yeah. And that's what the chase is. They're chasing that feeling again and again. It's like a drug. I mean, it releases dopamine and all this other good shit in your body. And I think that's what the jiu-jitsu, we chase jiu-jitsu. You get a good triangle lock, or you get a good submission, and you go, holy shit, that was amazing. I got to do that again.
Yeah. And so, you know, being in Maui, doing all that stuff, everything's going great, and guess what happens? Just to set things to a whole new level, this guy, oh my goodness gracious, I'll think of his name, but so this young brown belt decided that he was going to bring jiu-jitsu, which was not in Lahaina, not on the west side over there in Maui. There was no jiu-jitsu. The only jiu-jitsu you could do was up country. You have to go back through town, and I mean, dude, that's a couple hour drive from over in Lahaina, you know. But this guy started up a school, and it was the coolest thing, because I got to be on. I mean, this is starting a school, okay? So there was maybe some other people that were, you know, that trained with him up there, you know, from his professor, who it was a Gracie lineage, but everyone was white belts. No one knew anything. We didn't know how to shrimp. We didn't know what a closed guard was. We didn't know what a sweep was. We didn't know what needed to be. Nothing. So we all got to grow with each other, you know, and I got to start, and I learned, and I was so hooked into this thing, because in my sleep, remember, you know, in Kill Bill, when she's just being tortured by Paimei out there, and she's starting to punch the freaking wooden deal, you know, and she's just beaten down, dude. You know, but there she is fighting through all this thing, and she's getting better, and in her sleep she freaking pops the cylinder block wall and just fucking nails her hand. Do you remember that part? So I found myself waking up shrimping out of bed. You know what I mean? I loved the jiu-jitsu, you know, it was so great.
Doing some Joey Diaz shrimps.
It was so good, man. And I ended up breaking, after I think it was maybe a good 2 or 3 months of training over there, I ended up breaking my leg playing softball.
Of all fucking things.
See, I'm doing these stupid softball, and I still sometimes play a little softball, but I broke my leg playing softball, and it was the worst thing that's a different story in its own, but that when I got back here after, you know, I had to move everything back, dude. I was bedridden, dude. I couldn't do nothing.
You were stuck.
Fib and tib snapped in half. You know, I got a pole down my, you know, shaft of my shin, and screws. You know, everything's still in there. The hardware's still there.
Fucking A, no kidding.
10 plus years later, it's still all there.
And you're the crazy motherfucker on a motorcycle. This guy's on a freeway doing some acrobatic shit, like going past me on one foot and doing a fucking doing a ballet move with fucking one hand on the handlebar, going like 80, 100. Crazy. Yeah, and so when I finally recuperated, all I wanted to do was train. I was watching jiu-jitsu online at that point. I was just like studying all this stuff, and my brother, who worked for Ruka at the time, as I mentioned him in the beginning, Punker Pat, he was tied in with Tenori and all the guys at, you know, VA, which is Ruka, and they were hooked up with Chris Franco and the guys out there in La Habra. That was kind of like, that was where some of the Leo Vieira, some real like
names that I was just fresh into it. I still didn't know
Leo Vieira from Checkmate.
Yeah, you know, and that whole movement. So he said, hey, go out and see Chris, you know, and I met Franco a couple of times, you know, and come out and train with us. So I got well enough, you know, to where I started training there, and I put in time out there. I'd go and I'd stop a little bit, and, you know, I ended up, Lucas gave me my blue belt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
it's a good person to get a blue belt by.
Yeah, and then I, you know, took some time off, and that out there, that's where I was training with Andre Gaval. Mm-hmm. He was out there with those guys. You know, Bruno Frassato was out there. You know, these are all these guys that were coming in through, that were Brazilian guys that were coming in, and this isn't like, you know, the La Habra gym isn't some like, it's not.
Buchecha was training out there, wasn't he? Buchecha training out there too as well?
He probably was showing up there a little bit
I heard he was going out there.
But it's not, it's very freaking, it's radical, you know, it's just got its own vibe to it, but it's not a fancy spot, you know.
No, not at all.
But there's some fancy shit that's happening on their mats, dude. I'm telling you. And Ari Farias was rolling through there at the time, and guess who else rolled through there around that same time? The Mendez Brothers.
Okay.
These guys are in brown belts. Mm-hmm. Ari Farias was in a purple belt at the time, and this was when I was filming. I was a video production major from Loyola Marymount University.
I didn't know that.
So I was, you know,
take some tech tips for this place.
Yeah. So I had already made, you know, 2 surf videos. I was maybe making my second surf video at that point in time. Snap 1 and Snap 2, and you know, my partners actually.
I like the name, by the way.
Yeah. We were all taking bong rips. We were snapping rips. That was the whole thing for us, and those are different stories, you know, that are just amazing. But on the jiu-jitsu track, that's how I got to. I met these Mendez brothers, and I met all these guys. Up in Fullerton. Yeah, and they were staying with Franco, who is just the most sweetheart human being you could ever meet. This guy.
They're kind of young, aren't they?
The Mendez brothers.
Mm-hmm. Mid-20s?
Now they're in their mid-20s. I'm certain of that. At this point in time, they were probably late teens.
Yeah, and they got a good business model going on, right?
Dude, their business model is crazy, dude.
It's awesome.
They got such a facility there. They're you tell people that, you know, I train, you know, at AOJ. I train with, you know, but the Mendez Brothers, they don't like really teach there or anything, do they? You know, like,
dude, they're training every day.
No, they're teaching all the court classes.
Yeah.
Not only that, they really have a focus on the youth of today. They start them in there at 3 to 4 years old. Those are the youngest, the juveniles, and then there's the up class from that. And these kids, dude, I'm telling you, my hair will stand on its arm when I tell you this, because this is how psyched I am on jiu-jitsu, dude. Okay. So, since I've gone back there, I've been training now for 3 months. I got the blue belt curse, dude. I stopped for 4 years. Yeah. And I jumped back in there 3 months ago because I wanted to change my life around a little bit and focus on some more goal-oriented stuff. This is all what jiu-jitsu teaches you. And I knew that it would give me that structure that I needed in my life. I needed to get back to the mats. You know, so I'm training and I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm just there and I'm doing, and obviously this is only 3 months back on the mats, but I'm trying to train, you know, at least, you know, if I can, you know, 5-6 days a week, brother, you know what I mean?
Whatever you can throw down. Whatever
my grips can take, you know what I mean? My mitts are just so sore, but I start seeing the culture at AOJ. You know what I mean? Because you can show up and train, you know, just like you start in with anything new. You're the new guy. You're showing up to something that's already been running. You're stepping into something, wherever it is, whether it's a new surf break where you're going to be a local at now too, or wherever whatever that may be, anything, you know.
Wherever you're fitting in, yeah.
You're new at your business, your job at work. You're that new guy. You don't know how the inner workings are all going behind the scenes, you know. So as I'm carrying on, I start seeing all these young, really, you know, well-behaved kids that are, you know, in their like gray belts and orange belts and in green belts, and I don't know how all that their belt system really works, but they got like, some have stripes in it. Once you get like an orange, black, you know, there's all these different levels, you know.
Oh, I used to have It's right. It's right back here. I got a little.
You got a belt chart?
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab it.
Grab it.
It's IBJJF. But
IBJJF. Okay. So yeah, this breaks down like all the kids. There's, they start with white too. So white, gray, and then there's gray with white stripe, and then there's solid gray, and then there's gray with black stripe. So that's at the end of your gray belt, so to speak. Then you jump into your yellow white stripe, yellow black, and then red with white stripe, red solid, red with black, and then green with white stripe down the middle, green, and is that a green with a black in the middle? That's the final belt of their juvenile training.
I think so. Green, and then green, white, green, and then green, black.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then when you go an adult, you obviously you go. It starts with white as well, and then you go blue, purple, brown, black.
Now let me ask you a question. If you go through this as a youth, you're going to go right into a blue belt.
Yeah, correct. So
you don't have to start back at white because you've already gone through all those
No. They say so yeah, when they get, I think it's,
you pass your green belt, you go right to blue.
Yeah, but they also hold people back with their age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't just, there's kids in there that are carrying gray belts that freaking roll as good as a purple belt in freaking upper division. Our guys, I mean, they're that good, dude. So to get back to it, these kids. So I'm there. I'm getting the flow of things. The locker room. There's just what's happening there. So, and I start seeing these kids, and they're. We only have in our fundamentals class. So there's the fundamentals and advanced that for us to take. Any new guy that comes in there, as they give them their white belt, they start them at a beginner, and they have to do that for, I think, a couple months as a beginner. They can only do beginner classes, but they're the best beginner classes ever because there's sometimes only 2 guys or 4 or 5 guys, and they're getting 2 freaking a brown and a black belt that are sitting there that are all taught by the Mendez Brothers.
So this is particular to the AOJ and Mendez strategy and technique, teaching techniques.
Yes. So they are basically getting, and I want to go down and take the freaking beginner class sometimes because they're getting hands-on right there training from 2 freaking amazing practitioners. So I just got my buddy from work to go sign up, dude.
Oh, no shit.
And he's got the bug.
He's got the bug.
It's so cool, dude.
Do you find that a lot of people, like some people who have never trained before, this is what a lot of my friends won't do it because this is the first thing they say, dude, I don't want some dude's balls all in my face, or because they see some people get in positions where, oh, dude, that guy's got his nose up that guy's asshole.
Or you're just rolling around with another sweaty dude.
Yeah, and they take it as in a particular. They take it in a notion that's not really what it is, because when you're down really on the mats with another human being, another guy, let's just say, and you're in a position where your nose is pretty much on his asshole. One, it's not a fucking comfortable spot. You don't want your nose where his asshole's at.
No.
And you're trying to get a better position so that you can get out of that. And it teaches you, again, like you said earlier, when you're in those positions where you're not feeling comfortable, to relax.
Yeah.
And use those fundamentals, use those basic skills you've learned, and anything above and beyond that to get yourself out of that position and get into a dominant position where you're more relaxed, more comfortable, you're breathing easy. It just makes that experience all the more worthwhile, because once you do crack that and you go, oh fuck, I was getting pummeled, I was in a position where it sucked so bad and I could do nothing before, but now 2, 3, 4 weeks later, maybe a couple months, like you just said, you're back into this flow where everything's clicking and you thrive off of it, man. You get excited. I need to get back on the fucking mats, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is, with particular people, there is contempt prior to investigation, kind of mentality that they go into it with, because I mean, it's not for everybody.
No.
But you know what? Like, you really you look past those moments of being with a sweaty dude or some compromising positions as soon as you've set a triangle on somebody, or you freaking armbar someone for the first time, or you even just pass someone's guard or whatever.
Sweep them.
As soon as you've tested it and you've seen it, but it's not for everybody.
No, not for everybody. Some people are totally turned off by it.
And you know what? The good thing is, they say now in Southern California, we have probably the premier jiu-jitsu. Like, the movement is like all right at our fingertips for anybody. It's here.
All the big players are here in Southern California.
Everybody's moved to SoCal.
Pretty much.
So
not 100%, but 98% of those dudes are here in Southern California.
Not everybody can go to the Mendez Brothers, but you know what? You don't have to.
No.
I mean, you've got fantastic practitioners all over the place. It's like having the best, chiropractic guys. You only really like your one
I do. Dr. Bergman. That's a shout out to Dr. Bergman.
Dr. Terry Romine. Shout out to. So we kind of all stick to our guys and we swear by them, and that's in a lot of ways that's kind of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You find your guy that works on your back, and dude, you see who they are as a human being. You listen to the way they teach their techniques, and their techniques are good because they've learned them from somebody else that was just amazing. Anyone that's achieved a black belt is someone you want to listen to.
Yeah, and roll with if you have the opportunity for sure.
And roll with. So black belts like the Mendez Brothers and their thing that they're doing, I'm seeing these kids, and they run their kids class very particular, and they really have a fun element to them, but there's a very serious element that's really going on, because you've got the soccer mom and dads that are all there, and they're showing up to pick their kids up, and they're seeing their son Timmy get tapped out with a triangle from Johnny, you know what I mean, and they're going to go to school tomorrow, you know what I mean, but but what we learn here in jiu-jitsu is what happens on the mat stays on the mat. We keep that there, and that was a growing thing for us to experience. And these are what these young kids nowadays are tapping into on a different level, and they're getting to grow with this sport. And I think it just plugs them into learning so many good life lessons.
Do you feel now? I mean, I don't know if you listen to the Gracies talk about this, especially. Oh my goodness, what's the master? Not Helio. Mm-hmm. The son.
Hickson.
Mm-hmm. So he started the Jiu Jitsu Federation.
Okay.
And what they're trying to do is what they want to direct is where and why this Jiu Jitsu movement started in the first place. It was for self-defense. And what they said was a lot of the fundamentals for the self-defense was being lost in competition type training situations.
Okay.
Where competition's great and we need to learn those types of situations, but the fundamentals, the basic fundamentals need to be learned at the self-defense street level first, so that when somebody does get in an altercation on the street, that first of all they keep that mindset of street self-defense first, and then can modulate accordingly. So he started the Jiu Jitsu Federation because they were afraid of a lot of the schools nowadays are training kids or people only for that competition aspect. And so it was interesting to listen to a couple podcasts of them talk about that. Like, there's a lot of times you're not going to want to pull a dude into your guard on the fucking street.
No.
Your head's to the fucking cement and he's sitting there raining elbows down on your fucking head while you're pulled him in his guard. I mean, some people can fight from being in somebody else's guard. They can ground and pound pretty well. So there's all kinds of situations. And I think that, learning and being well-rounded and learning all those fundamentals are really, really important. I'm a white belt, so I have not really a foot to stand on, but I have trained for the last 4.5 years.
You must be a vicious fucking white belt. I can already tell. This guy's got a mat. This guy's got a mat in his office right now, and he's telling me he's a white belt. Come on, get out of town.
I've just never been promoted.
That thing must be the dirtiest white belt I've ever seen.
It's pretty dirty. Dude. It's kind of gray.
And to get back with what so the thing is that's so cool is they're winning all the competitions. They're kids.
They're smashing.
They're going out and they're winning competitions. And I'm sitting down and I'm talking to some of the dads, and like this one guy, Tim Mano, the Manos brothers, dude. These two kids. There's Dominic, and then there's Ant. So I call him Dom the Dominator and the Ant Man, and they're radical, dude. And like they both kick butt, Ant broke his arm in there, like, probably, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago or something, and it's a tough sport. I mean, it's not like it, but you don't need to be a kid that's a badass to be a great at jiu-jitsu, and that's what I love, like the smart thinking. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to finish this story because it's inspiring to me, because I see them there and they set these little circles up. They get them to circle around, okay, and there's Professor Guy, and he's walking around and he's looking, and he's calling these kids out to come and
Guy Mendez.
Yeah, Guy Mendez, to spar against each other, because he's creating this. So I've been watching him do this stuff, and I get a kick out of it. I try to, when I can, I try to show up a little early, because I'm hoping that they're running that. They don't always do it, but I always hope that I'm going to get there early and see it. So a couple Fridays ago, I roll in there and I'm 15 minutes early. I'm like, I'll go early today. And as I'm coming in the parking lot, I'm thinking about these kids, and I'm thinking about the circle, and I'm thinking about how cool it is. I'm like, God, this is really cool. Like, I'm going, he must be doing this because he knows the parents are coming to pick up kids. That he knows, like, all the big guys in the fundamental class are showing up. He's creating this little auditorium for these kids, and like, he's giving them a chance under pressure. I mean, to get called out in the middle of that,
with all these people looking,
it's terrifying.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Especially if they're trying to break that. These kids have to break through a lot of these social barriers, especially being at those ages.
It's scary, and I'm thinking about all this stuff, and I'm thinking of reasons maybe why he's doing it, or what he's thinking about, and then I walk in, and the circle is there, and I'm like, yes, he's doing it today, and he's walking through, and he's choosing, Scion versus so and so, and like, and here they come, and like, they're these little guys and girls.
How old about?
They must be anywhere from like 8 to 12.
Okay.
In there, like majority of them like 10, 11 years old, probably 9, 10, 11. And their techniques are unbelievable, and I'm watching these kids spar. The only difference is they're just smaller, and at this time of their lives, they're more spongy. You know what I mean? They're like, you can see how they're soaking in this jiu-jitsu, and some of them been there since the start for 3 or 4 years that they've been in this location, and they've been the ones that have been granted this gift of the West Coast Jiu-Jitsu by two of the most amazing humans to ever compete. I mean, 6-time world champion Rafa Mendez, and I think 4 or 5-time champion for Rafael, and they're the ones that are here, and they've said on the lineage timeline of jiu-jitsu that these two gentlemen are responsible for the modern movement of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I would say a good portion, because they have affected so many different people.
So I don't know how people inside the jiu-jitsu community views that statement or claim, but like, these guys are badass, and they're awesome human beings, and they run a tight ship over there, and they're delivering us the technique, straight from their professor. From the Atos is the lineage that we are Atos.
You are Atos?
We are Atos.
Okay, because I lost my first jiu-jitsu tournament to a guy from Atos down in San Diego.
I'm sorry about that.
It was cool, man. He triangle choked the shit out of me.
At least you did a competition.
Yeah, I did the Worlds, and I got my ass beat.
And that I did my first competition, 3 weeks, a month ago in Cerritos, and it was like the LA Open for some federation. I forget who put it on, and I learned some great lessons in competing.
You did good, man.
I did all right. You know what I mean? I lost. I got choked out.
That means you learned.
I got guillotined, but I made friends with the guy who beat me. So there was like the whole good sportsmanship aspect of it that we learn. I didn't go home pouty or whatever, but I learned some lessons because I cut a lot of weight to compete at that weight class.
What'd you compete at?
You have to weigh in at 181 with the gi.
The gi, yeah.
So I had to get down to about 177.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was going to be easy because I'm training a lot and but those 2 weeks of no carbs.
Oh, so you went on no carbs at all?
No carbs, basically 2 weeks was really, really gnarly.
I trained I could cut to the same weight, and you and I are about the same build.
Yeah.
And it was I don't want to say it was that tough for me, but it was it was like, oh shit, am I gonna make weight?
Yeah.
I made weight.
Yeah.
But oh man, it took a lot of brain power to make it there.
Yeah.
You really are focusing like, fuck, I have to make weight or I'm not gonna make my weight class. And then
the dedication, like that's what's so cool about jiu-jitsu. Like, and I really started to gain appreciation for how good we have it here in the U.S. with the way we're able to eat 3 meals a day. You know, I mean, there's these studies that they do, and you know, they say that, you know, if you are eating meals and you have a roof over your head and a bed to sleep in, then you're already richer than 90% of the population.
Oh my God, dude! We just got into this whole conversation 2 days ago. My buddy makes me. He's like, "Come over and we'll have a barbecue. Just come over and we'll go to the store together."
Yeah.
And not to veer off too far, but this is exactly the thing. I'm from the United States. I was born in Montebello. I was raised in Southern California my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Beach cities, the valley, and the mountains. I've lived it all. I've gone to school in every one of those places. And so we walk into Albertsons. And Albertsons is like every other Albertsons here in fucking Southern California. And we walk in. It's over here in Westminster. And we're going to go do some shopping. And immediately I stop and I go. And I tell my friend Scott, I said, Scott, look at all this fucking food in here.
Yeah.
And there's another fucking market like this right down the street, and another fucking couple miles there's another one, and there's one over there, and there's fucking dozens of them, and they all have this much food, and we can just go in there and buy whatever specialty cut of meat or fruit and vegetable. How much people around the world who would walk in here and fucking sit down and probably cry. They shit their pants. They go, are you fucking kidding me? And we here have the spoils of, oh, it doesn't look perfect.
Yeah.
And my buddy Matt, he's a produce manager for Rouse, and dude, I go to the back, you know, he'll be going through some stuff and he'll have a whole tub and it's like all for compost, and there's like this, he's dumping like perfect food in this thing. I'm all, dude, you can't sell these. No, it's got bruise here, or this is kind of, I gotta throw it away. I'm like, that sucks. They can't give it to people who are even hungry in this fucking country. They can't give this perfect food away because of liability. And here, all this shit's gonna be going in a compost fucking pile. And I just sit there and it blows me away. And so what I was doing, I was like, we're walking through the place, and dude, I was culturally fucked up from it for that day of walking through an Albertsons like any other day you would walk through a grocery store.
Totally. Just
thinking, holy shit, how lucky am I? How lucky are we that we live in this kind of society? And at the same time, maybe not so lucky because we're prone to think, oh, this is just how it is. It's so easy. You just go to the market and you pick this up, and the waste that it happens from it, man. I don't know. I had kind of like this reverence from it, kind of like a gratefulness at the same time as sadness. Like, fuck, there's a lot of people in the world that don't have it like you just explained.
I think you know, you bring up a great point in that around the world there's people suffering in ways that I believe it's Venezuela, right? Is that have you heard anything that's happening down there recently?
South America.
There's some South America or Central America country, I think it's Venezuela, they've literally like taken to the streets with protests because they can't even buy
food,
bread or eggs or anything, because all the people who are producing all those goods can't make enough money by selling it locally, so they're shipping it, and they can't even. It's whatever. There's so much bad stuff out there, and you know, you brought up the fruit thing, so I'm going to bring up a funnier story on the fruit aspect, because you know how they got to get rid of all the fruit. So back in the day when we were, you know, 15, 16 years old, you know, about the time when, you know, some of the guys finally like were getting their licenses to drive, and some of us were still like not old enough, or you had the older buddies that, you know, had the cars that you were hanging out with. So 14, so
hoodlums,
and you know, and that's what's so good about these kids in jiu-jitsu right now. Like, if you're there, you're doing the right stuff, because we were doing some stupid shit.
And you weren't doing jiu-jitsu at 15?
No, we were you know, doing some dumb stuff. You know what I mean? And on 17th Street has changed so much here in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
I mean, it really has. And there was a time when there was a little fruit stand right on Tustin and 17th Street.
Okay.
And it was this shacky shit fruit stand that was right next to the little pizza parlor. The pizza parlor is still there. It was Mean Heads, I think, back in the day, but it's not anymore. But this fruit stand was there. So we'd be out, terrorizing the neighborhood, party hopping on our Friday, Saturday nights. We were probably more in the 16, 17, 18, because we were partying at that time, smoking weed and doing all stupid stuff. And when the party stopped, everyone would go to Taco Bell, and that would be the meeting place. But sometimes along the way of getting to Taco Bell, all it took was one person, or wherever we were, whether we were there, someone would say, fruit, and then someone else would join in, fruit, and we'd just all, fruit, and we'd jump in the car, we'd turn wherever we were, we'd leave Taco Bell, and we'd go to the fruit stand, dude, okay, and then we'd go in the back, and we'd find whatever fruit they freaking had left out for us, whether they were oranges, or a big old gore, or some eggplants, or freaking grapes, or watermelons, whatever we could get our hands on, and then we'd go to the top of Cliff Drive Park, and we'd set up shop there. And,
shit!
So there's the Riverside Hill leads down by Stacey Bone, and it leads you right into Newport Boulevard. But up top, there's a little park area where you can get a vision on a car that's coming down there, and we'd pelt these cars. Fruit, dude. It was the funnest stuff ever. Fruit. It was great, dude.
We used to. That's so funny. Me and my buddy Marcello and this other guy Harley. There's a big. This is when I lived in the valley, and there was a road called. There was a Colima. Colima came all the way around, I think, or no, Pathfinder. This street called Pathfinder. It was at the top of my hill, and this all used to be like just horse country. Well, they built this fucking huge road that went all the way and cut across the hills, in pretty much our backyard. We walked through it wasn't an alleyway, it was like horse trail, and we'd get a bunch of fucking eggs, dude. Cars would go flying by. And we were young, and we hated the fact that these cars were going by. Well, these people just were using the fucking road. They didn't. Here we are. I wasn't into jiu-jitsu then. Hoodlum. I was a fucking ranch hoodlum because I had horses and all this shit. Bored out of our fucking mind. And cars would go by, and we would just egg the shit out of these guys. And they couldn't find where the fuck we're at because we're hidden in the bushes, deep, like you said, like on top of the hill. No one's ever fucking seen some shit. Yeah, I mean,
there's always the one friend that you grew up with, though, that takes it a little far.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? He's the guy that really always, we showed up to toilet paper this girl's house that lived a street over from us when we were probably like 13 or 14 years old, and like we snuck out of the back down the deal, creep the fence open all quiet and skip down there, and she's literally one freaking street over, this girl Brooke Taylor, and we went, and she was a friend. Like, it wasn't like we hated her guts or anything, but it was just something to do. We just wanted to TP. Brooke Taylor was the victim that night, and we go in and we start freaking toilet papering the shit out of this, and then all of a sudden homie pulls out like the shaving cream, then he's like shaving creaming the front door, and like he's got the eggs, and he's breaking those on the car, and like it's just
fucking up the paint job.
It turned in from like the innocent TP and sticking plastic forks in their grass, so they'd have to pick them out, to freaking causing some serious damage,
vandalism.
And we take off running and high fives, and then we hide back up in the house, and what happens? Well, there's a knock at the door, like maybe 20 minutes later, and the lights go on, and mom and dad are, they're upstairs asleep, no. We're dressed up in our cat burglar outfit and freaking, hiding underneath the covers, like, like we're asleep, and the one guy still got the beanie on or something, and so then we have to go over there and clean it all up and just look like total turkeys, but that's what we do.
But that's a common thing. I mean, like I just said with the eggs thing, and then you always have somebody takes you too far. Like, so that same road, like Pathfinder goes behind our house, and we took the horse trail there. So the eggs got kind of boring, right?
Yeah, they did.
So, and people used to speed too. Like, you could hear them flying because it was just a wide open street.
You're not supposed to speed like that.
They were going like 100. They go like 80. They go fast.
Rap.
Okay, and I'm a speedster. I like to fucking speed when it's safe.
Yeah.
Well, we made it unsafe. So what we would do is go down there. It'd be empty. and kind of in the shadowed part where between the lights, we'd set up those cinder blocks and row cinder blocks across the road, bro. And these guys would come flying in their lowered Hondas and shit. And all of a sudden you just hear them, whoa, boom, and just hit the brakes and fucking dust.
Ooh, good job.
Dude, we would fuck these cars out. And looking back in hindsight, oh my God, I can't believe we're lucky that no one got fucking killed.
Dude, the best thing we would do, so I grew up at a great time. I mean, there's no doubt that if you were born in the mid to late 70s to the early 80s, like, you grew up during a pretty awesome time.
Fucking best time ever.
Because you were before this whole movement of cell phones and technology.
Media and internet.
It wasn't like it was, dude. And I can remember what it was like. You know what I mean? The building, you know, there's been a lot of development across Southern California. I mean, like, we were at a time when there was still some open fields and
lots of fields left, yes.
You know, like, you know, over here, you know, the Castaways, you know, up there.
Bro, oh my God, I can't believe that's all fucking developed.
We were riding our bikes out there and doing jumps and all that cool stuff. I mean, like, all the Back Bay, like, there was a time when all that stuff back where those basketball courts are at the end of Mesa Drive, you know, all that was gone. My grandparents owned the duck farm at the end of Mesa Drive there. In their, you know, may they rest in peace. They're both passed on, and, you know, Dick and Patricia Emerson Cox, they were amazing human beings, man. My grandparents were awesome. My grandpa had a fucking duck farm in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not her.
It's not happening anymore.
He was a dope dude. So, you know, we grew up at this great time of life, you know, and we were so fortunate to be, you know, what's up with these guys? They're playing this Pokemon all over the place.
Fucking getting into car accidents and falling off of cliffs and shit.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
But again, there's going to always be that time where the older generation looks back at a younger generation and goes, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I know there must have been people, the older people when we were growing up going, what are these fucking kids nowadays? What if, with whatever we were doing at the time as a majority, you know, whatever we were into as a majority, whether it be fast cars or playing pranks on people, there's always going to be that part of society. I just think without good fundamentals, like the kids learning shit from Jiu Jitsu, or having some good mentors with whatever, having you know, your surf class and your surfing coach or your motocross coach or whatever, you know, some good role models and people to go, okay, look at these people they're trying to set me in the right path. They have some good fundamentals for me to learn. Without those directives and good people to follow, it's really hard. You can get lost. You can get into a lot of mischief.
Well, dude, but like, let's just break it down like this. Like, that's what we want out of life. We need role models. We need dads and moms to be involved with our lives, and it's like not everybody gets blessed that way.
No.
And you know, it's one of those things where that sucks, you know what I mean? And you know what, there's nothing you can say to someone to make it better for them, you know?
No, nothing.
That they just been blessed in a way that's a little bit tougher than some people get to experience. But everybody has their shit.
Yeah, everyone does.
Everyone's got their shit.
Yeah.
But how are we supposed to have role models when today the people in our government, the people who are in control, they're setting an example for we the people in a way that is just, I find it to be just disgraceful.
It's nerfed, like everything's nerfed. Everything is so soft, and like this thing with Caitlyn Jenner, that's one thing I read the story the other day.
What happened? There's something new?
Well, not something new, but I didn't really know the whole thing. I don't follow a lot of news and especially trash like Inquirer stuff, but you know, he killed somebody in
the driving incident. Yeah. Okay.
And also, and then not only did that one person get killed in the accident, another person is fucking like a quadriplegic or a paraplegic from it, who's disabled for the rest of their life.
He was driving the black Suburban or something with a trailer. He had
like a black Hummer or some shit.
Yeah, like something that. Big, and he had a trailer on the back, right?
And what happened was he hit this lady at a stop sign. He went too far, boom, hit her from behind and pushed her into the intersection. And fucking got reamed by another car, and she died. And another one of her passengers, like I said, she had what is that, like the cervical issue where we got severed.
She's in the halo. She's fucked. She's
fucked. Her cervical fucking cord got fucking cut, so she's a paraplegic or quadriplegic. Regardless, her life has changed forever. So this fucking douchebag who has all this attention around him about and looking for, and everyone standing up for him for being right. And I say him because I think he still has his cock, and he still has the genetics, the chromosomes that say that he's a man. He doesn't have a double X chromosome. Like, it's an X and a Y. Like, that's what you have, and that's what I have. No matter if you cut off your cock and you put tits in here, your chromosomes are the same, man. Like, those things haven't changed. You may change hormones, and you may feel that person inside, and that's all good. But you can't go and inflict that kind of fucking problem. You know, he was fined only like $150.
Well, I mean,
she, Caitlyn Jenner. Bruce Jenner, whatever.
Here's the situation.
That's fucking ridiculous, man. That I'm reading this article, Chad, and I'm fucking getting so livid. I lost my nephew in a car accident. He was 6 years old on a Thanksgiving day, and this is 2 years ago. And so when I read a story about this fucking asshole who hits somebody, gets only fined a couple $100, a slap on the hand, like, hey, you know, you're a role model for the society, and you know, go fucking Vanity Fair or whatever the fucking cover was, and you know, he's role model for women. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this guy's a fucking douchebag because of that shit. And he was a stand-up fucking guy at one time. Triathlon, decathlon, like United States Olympics. Like, how does that even go that way?
It's a sensitive subject. You bringing, you know, someone's sexual identity into question is just, it's so hard for anyone to be put inside someone else's body and understanding the way they think or the way they feel. But I've kind of done some extensive research into, you know, Bruce Jenner's transformation into Caitlyn Jenner, and you know, there's a community of people, and it's transgender, and there's, you know, LBGT, right? Lesbians, gays, bisexual, transgender.
Yeah. Okay.
So my sister happens to be a lesbian, you know, and that's, you know, but it's really, I can't really wrap my brain around this idea that you were born, but you mentally believe that you're of the opposite sex. Okay,
I understand. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, and we see it, and there's children and there's parents of children, and there's been very limited studies that have gone on in regards to this identity situation. Like, and they've just recently have completed some study that was very interesting. I heard it on NPR the other day. So I can't recall exactly what it was, but for them to want to go against the grain that hard, if they truly believe that they are female or male in the wrong body, and they think that this transformation is going to make them feel better, you know what? I'm for it.
So am I.
I'm for it.
So am I.
But it just concerns me so much, you know. And I look and Bruce is one of those people that it's so high profile, it's so in your face, and it's so, here's an Olympic gold medalist. Yeah. Here's someone that was on the cover of Wheaties. This is a guy
decathlon. That's fucking tough shit.
This guy was a boss.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's been in multiple relationships with women.
Yeah. He still wants to be with women too, and that's fine, and all that shit, Chad. My only thing is that he killed this one person, he cripples this other person, and there's no light brought to that. There's no punishment. There's like, oh, we're gonna make more of a point that people are ridiculing for what his transformation rather than what he did. I recall looking at some of the evidence in regards to that, and they had a bunch of graphs and documentation, and I mean, I wholeheartedly think that they would have held him responsible if not proven that something else was maybe going on. But I have to say that
To pay such a weak fine is just a slap in the face. I don't know what the civil case is brought against him, if he's being sued by the family members, but he ought to be.
Fucking A, he's got enough money to support this lady who needs probably going to need financial support and all the other shit that her and her family are going to go through on a mental state, and the person that they got killed. Oh, Christ.
It's horrible what any family has to go through with something like that. But with Bruce getting off so easily, it just shows what problem we have existing today in our judicial system. People of stature, people with money that can afford to get proper legal representation can really shift a case in a direction that they would never have gotten if they had the public defender or a shitty attorney that charged you a bunch of money too.
AOJ Simpson.
You know what I mean?
That guy would be in jail forever right now.
But if I feel like he or she, Caitlyn Jenner, first of all, he must not have been paying very good attention.
No, he was going through all this shit with the media and the psychology. He was taking hormones. He was fucked up. And I get it. We all go through these things and we make mistakes. Like the lady who made a mistake and ran the red light and killed my nephew. I feel for that lady. I really do. I told my brother this, and my brother had a hard time accepting this when I said it. But I said, dude, I feel for this lady because every day this lady has to wake up, and she wrote our family a apology letter and just her sincerity. And I haven't read it yet, but my sister-in-law kind of told me the gist of it, and I just haven't had the balls to read it.
How long ago was this?
This was Thanksgiving, not this last Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving year before.
Jeez, this was recent,
dude. Yeah, that's why that's the little kid right there on the left.
How old was he when he passed?
6. He's the little towhead dude. Like,
so he was in the car with someone else?
Yeah, with his brother. And then my sister-in-law, who's the lady up in the.
She was driving.
There were two fucking blocks from my house, or from their house.
And the guy ran a red light.
Lady on Thanksgiving night. Yeah, like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Was she drinking?
She was partially blind and deaf.
Oh my goodness.
And she has a driver's license.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's a breakdown of the whole entire system.
We're all allowed to get everything. We're all entitled. It's entitlement.
Dude, it's called Uber. Jump on, lady. You should not be on the road. It's like, and this is just a selfish act because how old was the lady? Was she was super old? If she was 8, like past 7, was she over 70?
She's like in her 60s. Guaranteed.
So she's at that age where she's still kind of holding on to her last hopes of driving, and I think this.
Well, now she can't.
She should not be able to.
She lost her license.
Yeah,
forever,
that's just an acceptance in something like that that's what we face is when we lose someone that's important to us, or we're grieving over someone, or even something of a dog. Even you losing, everyone grieves their own way.
Yeah,
and there's nobody that can really. There's nothing anyone can say other than I'm here for you.
Yeah.
If you want to talk, I'm here for you.
Yeah, just somebody.
I love you.
Yeah,
and I'm here for you.
To express those feelings out to somebody is immense. I mean, there's nothing you can say to these people. He's my brother, and what do I tell him? I'm there for him no matter what. If he wants to break down and talk, he's been a very strong guy, dude. He's had to go through a lot of emotional shit with it, but ultimately, we all have, like you said earlier, we all have our own shit we got to deal with. It's a time for the people who are the strength of the communities, the strength of the region, the strength of the states and the countries to come together and pull together those individuals that they see that need help and congregate as a community, surf community, jiu-jitsu community, motorcycle community. Like, you need to pull all the communities that have strength in what they do, pull together. We all have our own communities, and then that's the important part. And don't treat or teach people to be soft. I mean, with compassion and love, yes, but not to be soft and entitled. I think that's the biggest problem. And when you go to AOJ, those kids who are in that teaching, getting taught from Mendez Brothers, I guarantee they don't feel entitled when they're there. There's no entitlement there, right?
No.
Fuck no. But there's compassion.
Yeah.
There's love and friendship there, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But you earn it. You earn the respect, and then there's no entitlement.
Yeah, and let's face it, a lot of these kids, they're from Newport Beach and Costa Mesa. I mean, if anyone's going to be entitled at some of these kids that already have had it pretty good in life, you know, not everybody in there does, but I'm just saying, like, we have to train all parts of our culture, you know, and kids that are a little bit handed things on the silver platter a little bit more, like, it's great for them because it humbles them too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you learn that really quick. You know, you want to come train jiu-jitsu, you leave the ego at the door. And that's why a lot of guys aren't into it.
Yeah.
Because they're big, they're tough, they're ripped, they're shredded, they've been pumping freaking bench presses at the gym on chest day Monday, and they're doing their thing, and they're coming in
getting tapped by little skinny fuckers.
so quick.
Yeah.
It really is.
Or they play that fucking, they really push to the point where they actually can cause hurt to somebody who's doing jiu-jitsu, who's not trying to put it, most jiu-jitsu practitioners are not trying to put it on the opposite person so hard that they hurt them.
No.
And then you got a white belt who comes in who's buff. That's danger zone. It's danger.
Yeah, people always ask, so, like, you know, you say, I train jiu-jitsu, you know, I we call it fighting. It is still called fighting, but it's in, so, you know, like, people are punching you and hitting you and no. Like, there's no punching or any of that stuff. We're just, it's an art. It's a chess game on the mat. You know, it's two guys, you know, with abilities evenly somewhat ranked in most cases, depending on their belt, that are having a chance to express themselves through what they've been taught. You know, and people's abilities are of all different shapes and sizes, you know, depending on your build and all that stuff. But the worst thing is meeting someone on the mat that is in there on a short stint that is probably a white belt, and, you know, you just don't.
And a big ego.
Yeah, and you can get hurt.
And from Newport Beach.
Yes.
Huntington, fucking La Jolla. No, the La Jolla people are usually chill, but, well, you know, you get my point, is that, you know, people who have usually backgrounds with people with a lot of money. You know, I noticed a lot of now, and I was told this lately, that a lot of people who are in their 20s, mid to late 20s, aren't working because they're living off their parents.
Yeah.
Like in this area, it's like, oh, this so and so and this so and so, they have the brand new motorcycle, and this person they go out and fucking, they always have the Chanel bag, and a lot of these people don't even work, and they have rich families.
I think it's a generation thing. It's happening with people that are, you know, 25 and under right now, especially those that went to college, maybe took out student loans, got stuck with a credit card, and there's this idea that since the politicians and the rhetoric that's been coming down through media, they're hearing that they shouldn't have to pay this stuff back. Okay. And in some cases, there's some very unfortunate institutions out there that put young people into debt in a way that it's almost impossible to think you could ever get out of it.
Oh, bro.
It's crooked. It's wrong. So in that regards, I feel for people that do have you know, large amounts of debt that was acquired by student loans
or credit cards that you did to survive while you were in college at a 29.99% APR.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, they put on $15,000 worth of debt at a 30% interest rate, compound interest. Dude, how are you ever supposed to fucking repay that?
That's where we all learn our first. I remember they had a credit card sign up on campus at lunch. Okay, so they're hooking people in at that age, and that's the age where we are starting to become responsible, and that's where we start learning the big mistakes. And financially, that's a mistake and a burden that you the credit card, I say shame on you.
Yeah.
I say shame on you with the credit card, because if you aren't making money, you shouldn't be taking a loan from anybody else. Okay, and I did it myself. I made my mistakes with my credit cards, and I've paid them off. And that first credit card I got on that college campus that day, that cost me, but it was a learning lesson. You know, I really understood that I have to have a job.
But even with people who are working full-time, some of these bills can't even get paid off correctly because, like I said, the APRs, and no one teaches them, and their parents give them the false thing, like, here, we'll co-sign you for a credit card, and we'll co-sign you for your car, and you'll build your credit up. Well, a lot of these people don't understand. When you're young, like it's like understanding jiu-jitsu. Oh, we're gonna do 5 triangles left and 5 triangles with your right leg, and they're looking at you like, well, what are you talking about? Same thing with almost like a credit card. You're like, okay, well, here's a credit card. Make sure you watch your balances, and don't sign up for credit cards with high APR. And they're like looking at you like, well, I just need to go get some pizza, so I got a new credit card and order the pizza, and I can get shoes now. I needed some shoes.
Dope.
Oh, my books for fucking school.
Sweet.
Then I just paid this. Why is it higher than it was?
Paying the minimum. They get you, and credit card companies are brutal, man. They will do things that are just heartless. I mean, they'll adjust rates on you without telling you. They say, oh, we send it out in the mail. Who looks at mail nowadays? Seriously, like, I tear everything up that comes in, because
pretty much 95% goes.
Everything's on auto pay. I just unless it looks like somewhat important, then I'll just set it aside, and when I get to the day that I pull the mail out, my fiance hates me because I just have stacks of mail.
Be careful. You know what? I was at work the other day, and we got this letter, and it looked like just junk mail. Yeah. And I told my office person, I said, hey, open this some shit. It looks like junk mail. She opened it, oh, it's a check, and it was a legitimate check.
Boom.
It really was a check.
Yeah.
But it was wrapped in this fucking, like, it looked like a junk mail, like, sealed thing, in like one of those junk offers or whatever. And it was a legitimate check. It was like for $450, and we cashed it. But fucking A, like, really, you're gonna send it like that? Thanks a lot for
One of the things that I did end up opening was this thing from what happens when people get probation officer. He was a probation officer.
Oh, shit.
And
I'm listening.
What happened was about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, we were over at Fashion Island at the big cinema, the Big Newport. We were at Big Newport, and we were there to watch this movie called...
that's the one with the reclining seats, right?
It's beautiful. Their main theater there's just
fucking unreal,
huge, and all the seats are sick. But we were in one of the smaller theaters to the left, and it was this movie called The Gift, I think it was. It was this suspense thriller about this, old college guy that knew this one guy who's, doing really well in business and all that, and he ended up seeing him randomly, and he became this stalker, this creepy stalker. And these people are just getting their lives together in Los Angeles and trying to have a child, and this guy's introduced in their life, and he's just doing some weird shit. Yeah. And things are getting all suspenseful in the beginning of this thing, and me and my lady are sitting down there and towards the front. We didn't get tickets early enough, so we didn't have the greatest seats in the house, but we were kind of down a little bit closer to the exit. I hear this sound like a chainsaw. So maybe I'm thinking the theater next to us had something loud happening. All of a sudden, the back exit door flies open.
You're fucking kidding.
And dude, there's these two guys. One guy's got this thing that looks like a freaking chainsaw, but I click in automatically. I just click into game mode. It's on. Okay.
This is for real? For real?
This is for real. Okay?
At Newport.
At Newport.
Big Newport.
At Big Newport. It's on.
Wait, when was this?
This was like a year and a half ago. It made the papers and everything. Maybe like a year and a half or so ago. So all of a sudden, he's ripping this thing, and I'm looking at him, and I go, I zone in on him, and I go, okay, it's a leaf blower, dude. It's two kids. They're doing a prank, People in the theater started screaming and yelling and crying and trampling over themselves, trying to get out through the back of this thing, freaking
fucking out.
Mayhem, terrorism has struck Newport Beach. Okay, life is, as we know it, has been changed here in sunny old Newport Beach. Well, my chick is going, come on, let's go now, let's go. I'm saying, no, honey, wait, stay right here next to me. No, I'm leaving you. And I, and at this time they took off and started running. So I wanted to make sure that the back doors were, shut now, so no one else could come in, because
you can't. Once you shut those doors, you can't come back in that way. So they must have came out and set this thing up. Like they went out that way.
Yeah. So it was somewhat set up, and at the end of the day, I went down and I made sure they were shut. My lady was so upset with me. really, really pissed off.
This is during the movie going on?
Yeah, the movie's going on.
Did the movie continue? Did anybody stay? Did you guys stay for the rest of the movie?
So what happened was we got everybody outside, and this one person had broken their ankle, and by this time we're all having to wait, and like people are trying to talk to eyewitnesses. I was as close to this as you could possibly be, because we were down in the front left, right where they came in. I was eye to eye with this maniac, basically, and that's how I really identified that it was a leaf blower. So all of a sudden, here comes the sirens, the freaking squad's there, the SWAT team for Newport Beach has showed up with their, assault rifles, and it's
dude.
Serious, dude. It's serious. They're interviewing us, and
so the movie stopped, basically.
Yeah, the movie stopped, and I wanted to go back in and watch it. I was pissed off. I'm like, those fuckers stopped us at the most suspenseful part, and it was just heating up. It was radical, and my chick, no, you do not ask him to start the movie again. We're leaving. She was so furious with me. So we got in the car, and we had given them my information and all that stuff, and they had been following up on phone calls and everything. And we get in the car, and I look at her. I said, "Listen, I'm here to protect you. Okay? If something happens in a public place, I'm the one that's going to be standing in front of the bullet for you. Okay?" And I understand that when something serious happens and you start to hyperventilate, you start to lose your cool, you don't do your breathing, you don't do all the things we've been talking about staying calm in these critical situations, you've lost your mind. I'm the one that's thinking correctly, because, babe, what I'm telling you is everyone's running out to that back exit, okay? And guess what? These guys might not have been alone. They might have had another shooter in the building set up in the back, waiting for everyone to crowd back there and pick off everybody. There might have been someone outside that other door. The plan might have been get everybody out, go to the back. These are the things that I'm sitting here thinking about in my mind. The reason I wanted to stay, because I wanted to make sure that shit was shut down there. Those guys aren't coming back in here if I got that close. And now I can control the situation, because I know if something bad happened in the back where you wanted to run out with everybody else in the cattle and get picked off, we could have escaped out the front, or we could have hid here, so look, there's bad things happening in our country right now. We've got domestic terrorists that are, terrorizing, cities, not only in America, but, Western civilization, more, established countries.
All around the world,
and third world countries where they're freaking nailing people.
Paris and fucking everywhere, Rome, and all these major spots, dude. Fucking San Bernardino. Fucking, where's the last one at? San Bernardino, and then what?
We had San Bernardino, and then
after that was
domestically.
Yeah, domestically. Right
Florida.
After Florida.
The Florida situation went down.
Just everywhere where people, like you said, are going out to have a good time.
Yeah.
And go to the movies, or go to the marathon thing, or go over to fucking trying to get food stamps or whatever at the fucking San Bernardino thing. And this shit goes down. We're in this part of our lives, like you said, this part of culture where it's so nerfed, and people are they opt to run and be so uncomposed that they lose their minds.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that people are
wrong for that. No, that's just what they're in.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the mail, and I'm getting the phone calls from these guys, probation officer. They obviously they didn't get caught that night, but they did some research. They probably got a license plate or whatever.
Sometimes they got busted.
They got busted. So at the end of the day, I told the probation officer on the phone. I said, look, they've gotten in big enough trouble. You know what I mean? There's some really angry people at that movie theater that in this town that are not going to be. I know that they're wanting these kids to pay the ultimate price, But I think at this point in time, we're going to ruin their lives by this one thing that they carelessly did when they were young. Pranking someone at the same age, where we're signing our kids up for these credit cards, at the same age where, we can now vote, but we're just young and we're naive and we do stupid shit.
Like throw eggs at cars and fruit.
We do stupid shit, and you shouldn't have to pay the consequence just because you're 18 for the rest of your life. This mark is going to stop you from getting a good job one day. Hey, I said, whatever happened to him, you know, at this point, I think they've served their time. You know what I mean? And like that's all I have. I don't want to push any charges. You know, I don't want to participate. That's what I told him.
You know, a similar story, and then I'm going to probably have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're deep, like 140 on this stuff. Dude, thank you, by the way, for coming down here. This has been really cool. I think we've had some good interactions, some good stories.
I didn't know when you wanted to wrap it up, but whenever you want, dude. Well, we're all good.
I'll wrap it up with a story that's similar. We were at the big Newport, and this is a couple months back, and my brother, fucking my brother, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but let's just put it this way. This is right after, I think, San Bernardino shooting. Yeah. Okay. And I didn't know this until we got out of the fucking theater, but apparently he was holding some heat. Okay.
Shit.
And he doesn't carry. He doesn't have the proper carry thing. This is allegedly.
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 Yeah. It's a good story. Okay. Fiction.
This is a fictioner story, but we were going and we watched a movie. Oh, Star Wars came out, the latest one. And so we go to sit down, and my brother comes.
I didn't like it that much.
It was okay. It was whatever. And I was outside getting the food, and my brother comes out. He's already sat down with the family, the aunt, the uncle, my brother, my little the big nephew, sister-in-law. There's like fucking like 9 of us. And we're going out for one of the nephew's birthdays, right? So they wanted to go see Star Wars. So he comes out and goes, hey, dude, there's this really fucking crazy guy sitting in there. Dude, he's all alone. He's got a big trench coat on, like a big trench coat, and multiple layers of stuff. He said, I don't know what the fuck's going on, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna contact the management. So he contacts the management, and they're saying, hey, you know, he's pointing them out. So I get into the theater. I got my fucking chips and my nacho and my hot dog and all that. And I'm walking down. And he goes, he's right there. And he's kind of down towards the front on the aisle level.
Yeah.
So towards the front, maybe 10 rows back on the aisle. And dude, he just is tall, and he's got this weird look. He's got too much clothes on, too much shit, and a fucking trench coat. And I'm like, immediately, I'm going, oh, dude, this is not cool.
Yeah,
bro. I'm not cool with this.
It's not a good look.
So I guess
you got a profile. You got it,
dude.
We have to.
If you're like that, and there's a fucking whole fucking full thing, like a full theater of people. So I guess, you know, it's like the 22-year-old girl and like the usher guy he's probably 19. They go down to talk to him and say, sir, do you have a ticket? Asking if he had a ticket. Well, okay, okay. So he bought a fucking ticket. He's still inside this fucking place.
Here's my ticket.
So apparently, they wanted to see if his ticket and this and that, and they walked him up to the main area just to interview him, to talk to him about something.
Yeah.
And he ended up coming back down to sit down. I guess everything was all good, but my brother was like, dude, he had his shit ready to go just in case. He actually moved over a couple seats, got near the aisle, and kept his eye. He says, dude, I hardly watched the fucking movie. He says his eyes were on this fucking guy, and so were mine. I was like almost distraught by it because and nothing ever happened or anything. You know, we got back in the truck and he put that thing away, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you're holding.
Did you know he had it the whole time?
I did not know he had that until the very end. I was like, oh my god, you fucking maniac. But he was worried because he has his whole family there.
Yeah.
And if something were to have gone down, I told him, though, dude, that could have got you in trouble. That could have got you. You know, that
defending your family, and you were the hero that shot the guy, but you didn't have your carry license.
And what if the cops come and shot him?
Yeah, totally.
It's fucking crazy.
That's how it goes down.
Nerf football. Hey, Topsnap podcast. This is me, Jason, and Chad Towersey.
Yes,
Towersey. I did it.
Good
right.
times.
Are you gonna come back, my friend?
Absolutely.
We got more stars.
We just were scratching the surface.
Oh, this is good, man.
We didn't even get deep. We just talked for almost 2 hours. But yeah, there's plenty story, and you know what? The good thing is. I like doing it. So when you said you had this thing going on, I was excited. You know what I mean? So
this is good, man.
It's fun. We got to get it out there. Just another jack to check out.
Besides Town Park Brew Company, anybody else want a promo? Your brother in the band?
Oh, my brother's having a baby boy, so kudos to them. I'm going to be an uncle.
Punk Rock Pat?
Punker Pat, yeah, Patrick Towersey, the more proper. He works at Hurley, and my family, my mom and my dad and my fiance Taylor. She's just, she's my rock, man. You gotta have a good girl to be on your side. You know,
you do.
You can't just be Clyde. You gotta have a Bonnie. You know,
you gotta have a Bonnie, and that goes out to all you guys out there that are missing your wives. I know who you are. You know who you are. You guys call me and text me all the time. Hey, I miss my wife. She's gone.
Yeah. And just the whole crew, the Ruka crew, Tenori and all them, and Brophy, and they're doing their thing. Shout out to Snap 3 for Logan Dooley, and he's making the new movie with Bruce, so that should be cool. And then just the AOJ vibe, the Mendez Brothers. Dude,
that'd be rad if some of these guys could tune in and listen to you and I hope we did a good job for you guys. Love you. Topsnap Podcast, and it's topsnapmedia.com. You can check me out on Instagram. Username is Jay. It's USERNAMEISJAY. Peace.
Oh.